Hello everybody, welcome to our garden in October. Well, we've had a very wet first half of the month, but today it's beautiful after a few days of wind and rain. Now we've had a clear out, so the garden is looking rather more bare, but we still have some things going along nicely. The spinach is growing well. There's eggshells round to try and stop the slugs and snails from getting them. Hasn't been completely successful, but you know, they're holding their own at the moment. There's a weed there. And then down here we've got lettuce leaves still growing profusely. They're amazing. I mean, these are cutting come again, and we've had several cuttings already this month. They're beautiful though, really tasty, and they're all organic. There's 2 or 3 different varieties in here. And there's a weed there. And these are rocket seedlings. Earlier in the month I decided to sprout some rocket seeds, which were delicious, and I did a small handful of seeds, but they were profuse. We couldn't use them all in salads, and I thought, well, we need some more salads to get us through the colder months. So while I was at Dan's mum's, Dan potted them up in this trough, and we've covered them over with fleece to protect them because the weather is a little bit cooler, and it prevents garden pests from getting them as well. So hopefully, maybe in the next few weeks, they will be ready to pick. And over here I did plant a few lettuce seedlings, but they're not doing so well. We've got one there that they're slow to grow. This week I'm going to do some propagating, either in the greenhouse or indoors in the utility room. I've got some all year round lettuce to propagate. Next year the plan is to leave this side of the garden fallow, probably in the springtime. So next year is going to be more about container gardening than anything else. I mean, you can grow things in all kinds of containers, like plastic bags or dustbins or troughs. They don't have to be plastic, they don't have to be terracotta, they can even be tin, like an old tin bath, for example. You can grow things. So it's going to be quite interesting next year. We might even invest in maybe a cloche or something like that. We'll have a good think about it over the winter months though. The main thing is to have some things starting off over the cold months, and then later in the spring or early summer next year they'll be ready to harvest in whichever way we've been able to grow them. Here is a basket of the last of the tomatoes. Most of them are still green. A few have started to ripen. I'll probably take those in. I'll probably make some green tomato chutney with these. They won't go to waste. The tomatoes we've had are delicious. I bought some from the supermarket earlier in the week, but they had no flavour whatsoever. They were grown in Holland, but I don't like them. They've got absolutely no taste whatsoever. They've obviously been grown more intensively, and that's why they have no flavour. Whereas when you grow things in the traditional way, they're packed with flavour and goodness as well. Always remember, if you're buying fruit and vegetables from the store, always wash them thoroughly. I saw some very red apples, very shiny red apples, earlier in the week in the local greengrocer, which kind of had me perturbed, because that indicates that they may be coated with wax or with something like a peel, which is said to contain forever chemicals, which means like these toxins will get in your body. It doesn't matter how much you wash them, so just be very careful. I didn't buy them red apples. That one up there is a real beauty. I'm going to get you to pick that one in a minute, Dan. And there's one up there that's a beauty. There's a few of these which are gorgeous, so we're going to pick them while they're nice in the next few days really. And I've got a few indoors at the moment which I'm gonna put in a pot probably tomorrow. I usually pressure cook them. They cook a lot faster. The thing with quinces, you can't really cut them very easily when they're raw. You need a really sharp knife and a lot of elbow grease. It's best to cook them whole and then get the pulp off once they're cooked. You can peel the skin off and you can strain it through a sieve if you want a smooth texture for something like membrillo, or you can just, for example, separate the juice from the fruit and use the juice for making quince jelly, and then use the fruit separately in other recipes. I like to use, for example, in a homemade chestnut roast. Quince has an amazing flavour in a nut roast. I like using quince pulp for that, and you can use it in other recipes as well, including sweet desserts like sponge puddings or crumbles, for example. And that, in a nutshell, or a quince skin, is our garden in October on a lovely sunny Sunday day towards the end of the month. See you soon. Bye.